Hello everyone, and welcome to the visual guide for the Lunar Subterrane dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. The first boss is Dark Elf. You will battle this boss on an arena which is divided into 16 equal-sized squares. Hexing staves will summon between 2 and 3 glowing magical weapons in their own square of the platform. Ruinous congruence will cause all hexing staves on the field to explode in a cross-shaped pattern. You will need to find the safe area between to avoid taking damage. If a player is hit by this, it will apply Doom and 1 stack of Dark Whispers to them. The Doom can be removed by Asuna. If a player reaches 3 stacks of Dark Whispers, they will be instantly reduced to 0 HP. Shadow Sigil will cause the floor to change with each square having either a triangle or square symbol. To avoid this attack, you will need to move and stand on top of whatever shape is not floating around the boss. Once the boss has finished casting Shadow Sigil, all squares of the matching symbol around him will explode, dealing damage to anyone standing on them. Sorceress Shroud will cause all hexing staves on the field to become invisible after a short duration. You will have to find the safe zone and remember it for when the boss casts Ruinous Congruence, causing them to explode in the cross shape. Staff Smite is a tank buster, dealing high damage to the primary target. Void Dark 2 will target each player with a circular AoE marker. The party will need to spread out to avoid overlapping damage. Abyssal Outburst will deal unavoidable group-wide damage. Be sure to heal and shield through this as necessary. The boss will eventually start to use Sorceress Shroud, Shadow Sigil, and Ruinous Congruence in quick succession. This is something to be on the lookout for. Stay calm and stand as near to the safe area between the staves as possible while avoiding Shadow Sigil before moving back to it. The mechanics will then repeat until the boss is down. The second boss is Damcyan Antlion. When the duty becomes sealed, you will need to avoid touching the outer edges of the arena that look like an orange mire. Or you will get a stack of sludge, a powerful damage over time debuff. Sandblast will deal unavoidable group-wide damage. Healers be warned. Landslip. Sections of the floor will knock back players in the direction indicated by the telegraphed arrows. Antlion March will cause the boss to jump to the edge of the arena and then charge around it, pathing out its attack trajectory indicated by the line telegraphs that will appear across the platform during the cast. The group should find a spot that is free from any incoming attacks and stand there until the boss has finished rushing around to minimize damage and debuffs. If the boss would hit any of the stone pillars surrounding the platform, it will be marked by a large red exclamation mark. These damaged pillars will fall after a short delay, damaging any player directly in their path. Landslip will always be followed up directly after Antlion March. You will need to use the push back to avoid being hit by the falling stone pillars. Earthen Geyser will target a player. This will require all party members to stand together to share the incoming damage. This will then leave behind an area of quicksand for 10 seconds, slowing anyone within it. You will need to move out of this quicksand as soon as possible. Staying in it for too long will cause you to eventually sink and be reduced to 0 HP. Pound Sand is a large circular AoE attack, which will target a random party member's current location. All players will need to move away to avoid being damaged. The boss seems to only ever cast this directly after Earthen Geyser. The mechanics will then repeat until the boss is down. The final boss is Durante. When the duty becomes sealed, you will need to avoid touching the outer edges of the arena. Otherwise, you will get a powerful damage over time bleed debuff. Old Magic will deal unavoidable group-wide damage. Healers be warned. Duplicitous Battery will cause 2 spirals made of circular AoEs to form around the arena. Players will need to keep away from the first spiral to avoid damage, and then move into that area once the attack has been resolved to avoid the second spiral. Forsaken Fount will summon between 3 and 4 orbs around the arena. These will explode after a delay, damaging any players near them. Fallen Grace will target each player with a circular AoE marker. The party will need to spread out to avoid overlapping damage. Contrapasso is an attack the boss will only use while orbs are summoned. It will deal light group-wide damage and cause each orb to become sliced in half, moving in the direction indicated by the orb's trajectory markers. The party will need to find a safe zone to avoid damage. as each half of all orbs will explode after a delay, damaging any players near them. Antipodal Assault will target a player, causing the boss to charge through them. This will require all party members to stand together to share the incoming damage. The boss will keep charging until he hits the edge of the arena. Hard Slash is a large conal AoE attack that takes up most of the platform. The boss will only use this attack while at the arena's edge after casting Antipodal Assault. It is easy to avoid if you stand near the boss and to his side. Twilight Phase is a powerful line attack across the arena. It can easily be avoided by standing between and away from the purple casting animation which surrounds the boss. Dark Impact will cause the boss to leap up and target the edge of the platform with a red line. Players will need to move away from this area, as the boss will soon jump there, dealing heavy damage in a massive circular attack. Death's Journey will surround the boss in a point-blank AoE, while also splitting the arena with several conal attacks. The party will have to move away from the boss while also standing between the cones. The mechanics will then repeat until the boss is down. Congratulations, you have completed the Lunar Subterrane dungeon.